What's up, guys? It's Dan here at yourpbfriend.com, and we are here to do a new episode of the Ultimate Gun Review. The Ultimate Gun Review is where we take a new marker when it comes out, and we do the most complete and extensive review in paintball on this. This review includes things like an efficiency test, shot comparison, sound comparison. We take it all apart. We compare it in the hands to other markers that are similar if need be, and then we just give our thoughts about it. I'm especially excited about this one. This one is the new Proto Rize, Proto Rize and Proto Rize Maxxed. I'm excited about this because after getting my hands on it for the first time at Paintball Extravaganza a few months ago, I realized that this is going to be one of the best guns in paintball under $350. This is just an amazing marker for the price point. So before we get in, of course, this is from yourpbfriend.com. You can visit us online on our website. You can walk into our storefront in Newark, California. We're home of the premier paintball trade in your gun program, and we just ship all things paintball, free shipping worldwide, including, or free shipping in the US, and then free shipping over $1,000 worldwide. And that includes the Proto Rize Maxxed, and everything else on our website ships free in the US. So let's dive in and look at these markers. So first, the Proto Rize is it's pretty much a remake of the Proto Rail, which Dye owns Proto and purchased Proto a while ago, and the Proto Rail has been $250 and been their baseline gun. The problem with the Proto Rail had a few things. One, the marker wasn't very reliable when using consistently, like at a higher feet per second of like 280, 290. It just had some reliability issues. The gun would start leaking, shooting down, cause some other issues. It wasn't very efficient. And the new Rize is the remake of the Rail, and it is supposed to fix all those things. So we're going to jump in there. We're going to do an unboxing, and I'm going to talk through you with my things. Then we're going to do some comparisons with the other guns and break it all, or comparisons between each other, and then break the gun down completely for you and the whole rest of the stuff we do in the Ultimate Gun Review. So let's start with the unboxing. The Proto Rize, $250. Comes in a cardboard box, you know, cool logos, everything on it. Comes in, I think, 5 different colors: red, green, blue, black. It might come in an olive. But this right here, once you open it up, you got the manual, a warranty card, a nice bright green because we like lime green here. The manual is a very extensive, good manual from Dye, color coordinated and everything, very simple for you to use. A nice warranty on it. Inside you have a colored O-ring kit to make it really easy to fix your gun. You have Allen key sets, so these are the Allen keys you need. Comes with a Paintball Energy, a high quality battery, a generic barrel sock, the Dye slick lube, which is good lube, and then your one-piece barrel. So pretty simple packaging, but it has honestly all that you need. I'm going to put these tools and manual and everything back in. We're going to set this box over here. We put this barrel in. And we're going to look at the Rize Maxxed. Now, to make this clear off the beginning, the Rize Maxxed is the Rize with upgrades. It's pretty much maxed out to the best it can be. The Rize is very, very affordable, and the Rize Maxxed, just for a few dollars more, you get a lot more stuff in it. So this is $250 for the Rize, and it's $325 for the Rize Maxxed, which I'm going to tell you why, in my opinion, the Rize Maxxed is a no-brainer if you can afford that $75. Here you go, you got a sleeve, another thing, Rize Maxxed, big words, real cool. You get the Proto nice case, so carrying case, that's worth about $25, so that's real cool. Got a handle, zipper. You open it up, you see it has its 2-piece barrel. This is the Proto ultralight barrel, which is Similar to, or kind of like the little brother to the Dye ultralight barrel. It's a very nice barrel, pretty quiet. Not quite as quiet as an ultralight, but it's a real good barrel, probably $60, $70 barrel, 2-piece. You get your Allen keys as well. A nice little holder for it, your slick lube. You get your generic barrel sock. You have your battery and your Rize spares and the same manual, and then the spot to hold your Rize marker or Rize Maxxed. This thing is a little dirty because my paintball team has actually been shooting this the last 2 weekends and playing with it in scrimmages, getting ready for a tournament. And we want to test out all the markers. So I've actually shot this quite a bit myself before I'm coming and giving you my opinion on it. First, I want to talk about the differences between the two markers, the Rize Maxxed and the Rize. Alright, so the differences on them first. With the Rize Maxxed, you get the 2-piece barrel. Alright, so a 2-piece barrel is nice because it has a smaller control bore, and then it opens up to a little larger bore, so not as snug on your paint. That can give you a little bit better accuracy. It's also a longer barrel, which to about 14 inches is what any high-end paintball marker comes with, and that's the most accurate range that we found in paintball. So 14-inch barrel, real nice, 2-piece, has a little bit better porting. Actually might have the same porting, so it would probably be the same loudness of it, is just a little more accurate and better. The other thing that it has is, if you see with the Rize, it has this, it's actually a composite, and it's a screw lock feed neck, so you stick your hopper in there and you have to crank it down. This has the clamping feed neck, swiveling clamping feed neck, which is really nice. Your loader, especially your high-end electric ones, you can really lock in there. You can adjust it. You don't need to get tools out to try to take your loader on and off. If you're on the field or anything, you just pop it off, put it back in. That's probably a $60 part, $50 to $60 part. So that's a good upgrade as well. One of the other upgrades that it has is the on-off airport. This is the airport that Dye has used on their high-end $1,500 guns for years. And what it does is, when you screw in a tank, you can have it ungassed, screw in a tank, and then you can gas it up and simply flip the lever. And then to degas it, you just do that. Rather than here, you have to kind of screw it in under pressure, and it's a little more of a pain, and it can cause your tank O-rings to wear out a little faster. So those are good options that the Rize Maxxed brings to the table. So in my opinion, at a $75 price point, if you can afford it, with a, $80 barrel, $60, $80 barrel, let's just say 60, let's say a $50 feed neck, that's $110, and this I think is $70, but even if we just say 50 for another one, you're looking at about $150 value of very useful upgrades in accuracy that come with it stock for $75 more. In my opinion, again, I would go with that. If you can't afford it, don't fear. These things do work just fine. The barrel shoots good. The feed neck will clamp and hold on to your gun, and then you can use your ASA. So don't be afraid from that. I'm going to set across or off the Rize and use the Rize Maxxed. This is the one we've been beating up and playing with. And I'm going to get into the review of it. So, 3 things that has been changed from the rail, and we'll get in and we'll see them. One is the eye pipe. The eye pipe is a self-cleaning eye system. You stick your finger and pull it in the breech. And so what happens is, if you break paint, you have your eyes right here, which, if you don't know what eyes are, it's a brake beam system that it makes sure that the ball drops into the breech before it shoots, so it will not chop your paint, and that's really essential when having an electronic gun. So it has the eye system, and it pretty much cleans it out. Well, this eye pipe is much thicker than the rail, which was before. The rail used to crack sometimes under pressure. This thing's way stronger. It came out in the Dye R2 or M2, sorry, which is their $1,400 gun this year, their high end, the M2. And so this is the same style redesigned eye pipe, much stronger. That's a plus to the rail. If I can get it in. Oh, I have a bunch of dirt and paint in there from this last weekend because I didn't clean the gun. There we go. Boom. So that's what it has. It has that eye pipe. That's a cool upgrade. The other thing is the bolt system has been redesigned to be smoother, quieter, and a little more efficient. You'd be surprised with our efficiency test. I believe we got great numbers on it. And then we also have a new redesigned solenoid that can handle a much higher pressure. The rail originally, a lot of times when turning it up, you don't ever shoot over 300. It's not safe. But the gun at 290, the solenoid starts oftentimes starts leaking. You have to turn down the pressure a little bit. I actually just tested it up in a safe, secure area and turned the pressure to like 360 and fired some shots. It's not recommended for your gun, but for me, I was trying to max out the solenoid, and the solenoid handled it like a champ. So that's awesome. It improves the reliability. So enough with just the comparisons of that. I just want to run through the gun with you and my thoughts. The thing that I like the most about the Proto Rize is, rather than some other guns in that $200, $250, $300 price range, this isn't a cheap mechanical marker with an electronic board, like a Spider with an electronic board. This is actually like a tournament marker brought down to an affordable level for the everyday player. It has the ultralight style frame, which has been used in Dye's high-end guns for a long time, is really comfortable. Some real nice rubber ultralight grips. It has a good shaped trigger. Now the trigger doesn't have as much adjustability as a high-end gun. It's pretty much just two options. The trigger does have a nice feel as well. It also has a very high quality regulator on the Rize. The Rize, it's the Hyper 3 regulator, and a high quality regulator, which this has been used on Dye's high-end guns, is it makes it very consistent. So you're going to have, that ball-on-ball accuracy is capable. The gun can also shoot the tank until it's very empty, and it runs to almost zero. The other thing... Another thing which is really nice about the Rize is you're pretty much getting a rendition of a high-end tournament markers engine. Like this platform, set this side here. This engine, or this platform, is based off of the Dye Matrix fusion bolt. It is a very smooth, quiet shot, which is just not like a very cheap low-end pow, 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 pow. This thing shoots like a high-end gun in a lot of ways. It's just affordable for an everyday price. You see the O-rings are colored. Dye does this with their markers, and they have specially colored O-rings so that you know very easily which O-rings to change with. So when you get that spare parts kit and you have a problem, if this is your first marker, you're not going to have a problem sticking the wrong O-ring, because if this was red, then it's going to be red. If it was blue, then it's going to be blue. If they're both red, obviously the small one doesn't fit on there because you're not going to be able to get it on there. And so that's a real nice thing to have, is a marker which is kind of like the simplified version of a high-end tournament style marker, and that's really what you're getting in the Rize and Rize Maxxed. What makes me this is also what makes me so excited to have these guns in that $325 price range, because anybody who wants to get on that tournament field or play with the advanced players or play with on the airball field with the walk-ons, this gun's not going to leave you lacking or wanting in any way. You're not going to feel, hey, I have a disadvantage. Sure, they have some nicer features on theirs, but your gun can shoot just as fast. It's very efficient. It's very smooth, quiet. It feels good in the hands, good ergonomics, and you can just play well with that. So this is the package. You're getting into some advanced paintball and really want to be smashing on your friends who are rentals and don't have their own gun yet. This is a fantastic step, and I think it's a great transition step into the high-end gun. So let's go ahead and get into taking this whole gun apart for you, and I'm just going to show you how to take everything apart, and we'll do that pretty quickly. So let me grab the tools and here we go. Alrighty, so first we're gonna take off the barrel. Make sure that your gun is not aired up whenever you work on your gun, please, for safety reasons. So the barrel side here, 3/32 Allen key. I'm gonna take off the grips. I say this in all my videos, but a lot of Allen key sets have a ball end to them, and they have a L-shaped end. If you see a ball, the ball is made for you to be able to turn and twist like this, and then this side is for your torque. So if you have like a frame screw which is really tight, please don't use the ball end. It can actually cause it to strip out, and we don't want to see that. Alrighty, so your grips come off just like this. You can pull them off. You have your battery. As you see on your right grip side is where you access your board and your battery. The left side you can't really access it, so you'd be taking off on the wrong side if you just want to do basic maintenance. In here in the trigger area, you see the trigger. It uses a micro switch on the electronic board, and you can adjust that activation point, how far the trigger's out. Each time it does that, electronic signal sends a message to the board to fire. Pull the battery out. This is just one that we stuck in from the shop. It has a plus or minus indicator on there, and this red ribbon goes underneath so you can pull it out. Here are your wires. When you pull wires, you want to try to pull straight up and try to grab the plastic part rather than just jerking on the wires, so that you don't cause them to pull out. Go. The 3 different spots, you don't need to know which one goes in which because they don't fit in each other, except for the blue one, and it doesn't go in the blue slot right here, so you don't need to worry about that. But you need to pull these wires out before you take apart the frame. Be careful when you pull it apart so these don't get pulled. The macro line here, how macro line work is kind of like a Chinese finger trap. When you pull it, it tightens. So I actually am going to push it in, hold back this little silver collar, and then pull. Let's see. There you go. Be a little stiff at first, but you see this moves in and out and locks, so you got to pull it back. And that one's going to be stubborn, so I'm just going to take the reg off and leave it on right now. Or not. Alright, so I'm going to grab this wrench actually right here. And so you see there's kind of a nut, or there is a nut. Don't use a pair of pliers, otherwise it will scratch it, and that won't be nice. And this actually pulled out the wrong way. Alright, and so you have it. I pulled the regulator in half right here. So I pulled the regulator right in half here, and that's how you take it apart. Just moving that out of the way. Here's your front frame screw. Set this aside. Your rear one. And then remember, when you pull the frame apart, don't get these wires stuck. So this one is your capacitor wire. That pretty much makes it so your gun can shoot on a lower battery. That's a really nice feature of the gun. High-end guns even don't always have that on their board, and so when the batteries get low, they just really have problems straight off the bat. But here's the inside of the frame. Pretty simple. It's got the capacitor that just kind of sits right here. We got some paint inside of it, but here's your solenoid assembly. So this is your solenoid wire, and this is your solenoid right here. And then here you have the different hoses that go into and actually bring your air into your gun. take them apart for you. You really don't need to maintain and do this almost ever. I'm just doing it for the sake of the video. Again, you probably never really need to do this. This is just the ultimate gun review, right? So there you go, that's the solenoid area, and that actually, those screws clip down into the body right here, and then there's your body. These are your eye wires right here. So put that back together. You don't need to over tighten these, just tighten them snug. Most paintball gun parts don't need to be over tightened. There you go, that's the solenoid assembly. To put this back together, you slide these holes back in, or these back into the hole. You want to pull them through before you pinch it together to make sure that they do not get pinched around the solenoid or anything happens. So it should be able to sit right there. Alright, I was mistaken with these wires. You do want to know the one that connects to the capacitor plugs into that blue area, and that's important because that stores electricity. So you plug this one in the top, that's the one that's coming out from right here. And you plug that into the blue area, and then the other one goes into the one right behind it. It's a little tight in the spot, so I usually grab pliers and Allen keys to help me. And then I use this, and again, I don't push on the connections, I push on the connectors themselves to make sure they're snug. You can take the battery and the plus sign. It goes back down, or sorry, it goes in first and then the back end, just like that. Get to the regulator, and I'll take it apart for you real quick. Just rubber sleeve. Here, what we're going to do is screw the velocity all the way in adjuster. So what we're going to, this is the velocity adjuster. You can screw it right here. So with the regulator, this part right here, it uses a bevel spring stack in there. So I'll show you what that is, and you don't want to lose that. You can't actually, so the velocity adjuster in there, you can't pull out without a C-clamp tool, and that's made so you can't just back it out and then the thing shoots out when it's under pressure. So it actually stops it, and there's the C-clamp area. Getting the piston out can be kind of difficult if it's stuck in there. So what I do is I say take a rag and then hit it down, because you don't want to spill this. So I do not advise doing this at your local field, or if you're in a place where you can lose these springs. This spring stack has to be set up that way correctly. This is the way it's set up. So they're kind of, each one's cupped and they end cupped out on both sides. If you see there. To grease it, you can take your sleek grease, don't need a large amount, and you don't need to maintain your regulator more than every 25-30 cases, but you clean it off and then you stick it around this this O-ring right here, and then also a little bit around the top of this piston right here. This is what seals your velocity. And then this is the inside of the regulator, facing up so they don't get miscued. You push them in there. And boom. To stick your macro line back in, you just kind of twist it to the side, push it in, and then pull on it. Macro line leaks can be common. You just kind of pull on them until they tighten up and then they stop leaking. This is made so that your regulator, so you can tighten your regulator, but the top part swivels around so that you can have it how you want it. And so then it's loose like that. Your feed neck, try not to strip it out and over clamp it, which it's possible, but you unscrew that right there, and that's how it screws in. These split apart. They clamp right on there in case you need to feed it or clean it. And then you split it open again, clips on. And then this part, again, make sure you don't strip it out. I'll put on the grips, and then we're just going to look at the bolt engine real quickly. And we'll be good to go. Didn't look at the ASA real quick. Let's do that. So your ASA, you got this air port, and it clicks in. You push it, and it clicks above there to when it really locks in place. You stick your pair of pliers on the inside here. And you twist it. There's a yellow O-ring in there if you have an O-ring leak or a ASA leak. Then you also have this little O-ring right here, which is a blue one. And your pin sits right in here with the flat side out. Put it back, you pinch it. Screw it back in. Boom. You're good to go. Simple as that. Actually, really simple. So, there you go. That's the basic maintenance and breakdown of the gun. It's a very simple marker. Dyes had these parts in style around for a long time, and it's proven to be very robust and reliable. And so you've been able to have a lot of videos and stuff on how to take care of that, and it's pretty simple to take care of. Today we're going to do the efficiency test on the new Proto Rize Maxxed from Dye Paintball. We have it with a Ninja SL77 tank. This is what we use for all our efficiency tests. We have 4,500 PSI, if you can see it. Right there in a cold fill. We have it on about 12.5 balls a second ramping, and then we have just the stock barrel with some Vulcan Infinity paint. So I'm actually going to chrono this real quick and just have my lovely assistants today, Allison and a Scout from Team Girl on Girl, a dye sponsor team, to shoot it for you and do the efficiency test. So here we go. Got one pod. This is pod 1. Alrighty. 268, 275, 272, 277, 276. We'll turn it up real quick. Gotta grab the tools. 283, 296, 292, 293, so 290, 292. And we will go till 0. So Allison. And whenever you're ready, just go ahead and shoot non-stop. Check the tank pressure real quick. We are at right about towards the end here. Keep shooting. Shoot one. 291, 288. All right, keep going. Two. All right, keep going. Keep it. 287. All right. Alright. Keep shooting, ramp it. call it there. Perfect. We're good. Alrighty, so that's 108. How many pods do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's almost 12 pods. A little over 11 and a half. So a little over 11 and a half. 199, 192. So, yep, that's the dye efficiency test on the Rize Maxxed. Alrighty, so in conclusion, Dan, what do you really think of the new Proto Rize and Proto Rize Maxxed? That is the question I've actually been hearing quite a lot. I've had this gun. This is actually a few weeks after most of our tests and playing with it. We've had quite a few weekends of practice with it with the team. You saw things like Mike Paxson of the LA Ironman, a pro paintball player, used this in a pro match against one of the other pro teams. That was really cool. What are my thoughts? So let me give my thoughts on the Proto Rize and Rize Maxxed. I like the gun a lot. It's a $250 to $325 gun, which in the world of tournament paintball guns is a very, very low price. It's a low-end, low price gun. But it performs really good. It's smooth, it's quiet. I love that they beefed up the solenoid in this. That's going to help with reliability a huge amount. It's simple to maintain. I like that for that price point. It has, tournament ergonomics. It has a nice frame with a decent trigger. It's soft on high-end tournament paint. We actually shot some pretty brittle paint through this, tournament paint, and it shot it no problem, which is real nice. The efficiency was very impressive for a gun of its range. One of the things I find most impressive is a lot of low-end guns have bad regulators, and as you shoot and the tank pressure goes down, the gun starts dropping off. But this thing shot at high velocity until the very end when it just shot everything that's left, and then it was done. That is a really good sign. The Proto Rize Maxxed highly impresses me for $75 more because it comes with the two-piece barrel. This is going to help with your performance. It's going to be more accurate. Just an all-around better barrel that's worth the money, I think, myself. Having a nice clamping feed neck makes a big difference when you're on the field and you get a jam or something happens or broken paint in your hopper and you need to pull it off, or in the pits. A clamping feed neck is actually although it's one of the luxuries, it actually is very valuable. So to have that. The on-off ASA makes it a lot easier degassing the tank. I find that that's very useful, although maybe not as essential as the barrel in there. I answer that because I had some customers say, why would you ever buy the Maxxed over the Rize? Well, I think the upgrades are highly worth it. Now, even the gun, if you do just the Maxxed, just the Rize, which has the screw lock feed neck and the shorter barrel, no on-off, again, you're looking at something that's above most of the competition in its area. You still have the tournament gun with a high quality regulator that's very smooth, reliable, quiet, shoots tournament paint. This is going to be on the shelves at yourpbfriend.com as the main entry-level tournament marker that we carry as of right now. So you're going to see when you want to jump into something that you want to keep up with the high-end players, but it's not going to break the bank, and you don't have $500, $600, $700, $800, $900,000 plus dollars. This is going to be the one that my guys are going to recommend to you every time, and me as well. So I really like the gun. I think it's fantastic. I think it's some good stuff. I like that it's a refined version of a platform that's been out there. It means you're not going to find a lot of bugs in it at all. Very nice gun, very good for the price. Just been a pleasure to use and shoot. If you want to buy one and keep it as a backup, again, at tournament players, it's not going to shoot quite as nice as a $1,000 gun, but it's also a third of the price or a quarter of the price in a $1,000 gun. So that is a factor to play in it. It's very good. We compared it in the video to some higher end guns because I think that's where it sits. There's not a lot of guns in its price range that really compare to this. So if you're the player that's looking to step up your game into a tournament level marker that's in affordable price range, this is the one for you. If you're looking for a backup, this can be the answer for you too. So be sure to check out our website, yourpbfriend.com. We buy, sell, and trade, so trade in your used guns towards this. You can come into our storefront in Newark, California, and you come check these out. We buy, sell, and trade there as well. Shoot us a message, find us on Facebook, like and subscribe to this video, and let us know what you think, of course, and thanks for watching, guys.